Welcome back to Education Express. Slowly and gradually, the way we are moving towards accomplishing our goals is worth applauding. It has been possible only because of your cooperation. Today, we are going to start with another chapter, that is compound interest with formulas. In the previous chapter, what we did was we have understood what exactly we mean by principal, sum, the rate, that means the rate applicable per annum, the time period. Those were all the components based on which we were able to find out the compound interest earned by an investor. Also, at the same time, we understood amount at the end of maturity period would be principal plus the interest. But in all the permutation combination that we applied while arriving at the answers, we were using the traditional method without using any complex formulas. Generally, formulas are devised in life to make the life easy, to make the life quick, fast, comfortable. So, realizing that doing questions without using formulae would probably take some more time as compared to using and making application of those formulas. So we introduce to you chapter number 3, wherein we'll be computing amount, compound interest, etc. with the help of using the formula. In order to make the things very clear, let me demonstrate to you this with the help of a very simple example. So, keeping in mind the complexities that involve in compound interest formula method, I have devised few ways and what I've tried to make life simple for almost all the students. We'll be going through the formulas that I'll be discussing with you, and trust me, those formulas will really help you to understand not only the question but to ultimately devise the solution also. With this, let us start and see how exactly this turned out to be. Alright, my dear friends, we have a question right in front of us. Principal 40,000, rate 10%, time 3 years. I have to find amount that an investor will receive at the end of 3 years. That means investor is investing 40,000 at 10% per annum for 3 years, and I want to know at the end of 3 years what amount the investor should get. So traditionally, so far in chapter 1 we have understood compound interest 1 would be 40,000 multiply by 10% for 1 year. We are finding it for the first year. So your answer would be rupees 400 for 1000. Then we find out P2, which would be 40,000 plus 4,000. That makes up 44,000. Yes. But I never block principal. So I am removing the block at the principal. Can we find compound interest too? Of course, sir. Now it will be on 44,000. At what rate? 10%. Time period? 1 year. So how much it will come up to? Sir, rupees 4,400. Precisely. So now can we find P3? Of course. What was the principal taken? 44,000. How much is the interest earned? 4,400. What is the total amount? So the total amount would be 48,400. So can we find the interest for the third year? Of course, sir. Compound interest 3 would be 48,400 into 10 into 1 upon 100. How much do you get? Sir, it would be rupees 4840. That means if you want to find out amount, we all know amount is equal to principal plus interest. Since it is principal plus interest, I must find out what is my total compound interest. That is going to be CI1 plus CI2 plus CI3. Can anyone tell me what is the total of CI1, CI2 and CI3? Of course, CI1 is 4,000. So I am writing over here 4,000. CI2, so 4,400. Absolutely. CI3, 4840. 4840. So how much it will total up to? So it will total up to 12,000, 13,000, 13,240. So that is going to be 13,240. This will be my total compound interest. Amount equals to principal plus interest. My principal is 40,000. Interest is 13,240. So the total amount would be 53,240. My dear friends, these facts were known to all of you because we have already done compound interest without using the actual formula for compound interest. These are the formulas of simple interest, and by applying them year after year, we are finding the compound interest, and we are doing it, and we are getting it also. You know, this is basically, you can say that we are adopting a traditional method. So then what can you offer in compound interest using formulae? So the first and foremost formula is amount equals to principal 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n. This formula will directly help you fly straight to an amount. That means you wanted to find an amount. We don't have any single formula for amount. Over here, we have direct formula for amount. You only have to give the input. P stands for your principal amount. 1 will remain as it is, plus R. R stands for rate of interest. 100, that means because it is a percentage. And N stands for number of years. So when we put this formula, what is the value of P? So P is 40,000. 1 plus, what is the value of R? So R is 10%. So 10 upon 100 raised to 3 because the number of years are 3. So what do we do now? 40,000 multiply by 0, 0 cancels, 10. 10 into 1, 10 plus 1 upon 10 whole raised to 3. Now what, sir? Now very systematic. 40,000 multiply by 10 plus 1, 11. So basically 11 upon 10. 11 upon 10. The whole cube. What we can do is 40,000 into 11 into 11 into 11 upon 10 upon 10 upon 10. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Finally, we are left with 40 multiplied by 11 11s are 120. 1 11s are 1331. That means 4, 12, 2, 1, 13, 3, 1, 4, 5, 0. So, we get our amount as 53240, which is exactly the same. Exactly the same. This was without using the formula. This is using the formula. Now, what is the point of differentiation? The point of differentiation is, of course, you can say, sir, now I'm going to use only this. Sir, this is superlative. This is fantastic. This has an edge. Sir, I can do it so fast. I don't have to go through all these things. But trust me, I'll tell you the difference between the two in a very systematic and a simple way. Use this analogy. This is like a slow train and this is a fast train. Both the trains have got its own advantage and disadvantage. If you are going by a slow train, you can get down at any station of your choice. If you are moving from Churchgate to Bombay Central, you can get down at Marine Lines, you can get down at Grant Road, you can get down at any station of your choice in between also. Whereas in case if you are going by a fast train, directly from Churchgate, you will straight away go to Bombay Central. So in case if you want to get down at any station which comes in between, I am sorry, your formula method or your fast train will not give you answer to all those questions. Imagine if I would have asked you the question like, for example, what is the interest earned for the first year and the second year? This method can surely give you the formula for the first year interest and the second year interest. So you know what? The analogy of understanding The slow train and the fast train, each of them have got its own advantages and disadvantages. In case if I want to get down directly at Bombay Central from Churchgate, of course, yes, this formula or the formula method would be absolutely fruitful. Whereas in case if you want to find out all the small elements of every small thing as to for the first year, second year, etc., then this method can help us give all necessary details that is required for the purpose of getting a solution midway also. But trust me, in the end, after having the comparative advantage of both, I can tell you that formula methods would be far more productive as compared to the traditional method. So one must understand in formula method, this is a prime formula. For the purpose of finding out solution depending upon the tailor-made question, we'll have to alter this formula only as per our requirement. So now we will forget about the traditional way and let us adopt the modern way, that means the formula method. Now there are few more formulas that one must understand. Alright, the formulas are, as we know, that A equals to P1 plus R upon 100 raised to N. If someone wants to find out, sir, what will be the compound interest that we have earned in 3 years? My answer would be, compound interest is nothing but amount minus principal. So what is the amount that you have obtained? 53,240. What is the principal amount? Sir, 40,000. So what is the answer that you got? 13,240 rupees. This is the exact same answer what we got when we did the question without using the formula. Besides that, supposing let us say we have a question. The question is find amount. Given principal is 50,000. What about the rates? Rate for first year is 10%. Rate for second year is 20%. Rate for third year is 30%. Now in case if I want to solve this question, what should I do? My answer is amount equals to P1 plus R1 upon 100. This is for first year, so 1. 1 plus R2 upon 100. This is for second year, so only 1 year you will get this rate. So again 1. It's okay if you will not write 1 also, because it is for 1 year only. If power is not there, let us say A. If there is no power, it is always assumed that power is 1. What about the third year? 1 plus R3 upon 100. So there is no need for you to do the things 3 times as what we did in the previous chapter. Here you can simply substitute the values. 50,000. 1 plus 10 upon 100. 1 plus 20 upon 100. 1 plus 30 upon 100. How did you get 10, 20 and 30? Sir, rate for first year is 10. Rate for second year is 20. And the rate for third year is 30. This becomes a very simple formula now for us to solve it. The calculation would be 10 plus 1, 11 upon 10 multiplied by 0 cancels. So basically this is nothing but, if you go to see 10 plus 2, so it will be 12 upon, you can further cancel also. In case if you wish, you can do 1s and 2s. You could have done 1s and 5s also. So if someone says, sir, I want to, but I would keep it 10 only because it is very easy for us to keep the denominator 10. So I know, okay, if it is 20 upon 100, many people would like to go for 1s and 5s. But I am of the opinion to keep 10 down only because it becomes very easy for us to cancel all the zeros. So try and cancel the zeros. We are left with 10, 10 plus 2, 12 upon 10, multiply by, same way over here, 13 upon 10. So all the zeros at one shot can be cancelled. So we get 50 multiplied by 11, multiplied by 12, multiplied by 13. How do we do this calculation? It is a normal calculation. 12 into 13, 156, multiplied by 50, multiplied by 11. This multiplied by this, how much it is going to be? 7, 8, 0, 0. 156 into 50, 7800 into 11. How to multiply this? 7, 8, 7 and 8, 15, 5, 1. So it will become 858, 0, 0. This will be your final answer. So my dear friends, the first formula that I had given to you is this one. The second formula that you should note down in your book, that's a very very important. Kindly note down the formulas in your book. While watching the video also, you can note down A equals to P 1 plus R1 upon 100, 1 plus R2 upon 100, 1 plus R3 upon 100. This is when different rates are given. Alright, Acha. One more thing I would like to discuss with you. Even that is very interesting part of the whole chapter. That is, if you want to find out only interest, as we know, the formula for amount is P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n. In case if I want to find out only interest, what it will be? So interest would be amount minus principal. So what many people do? Instead of finding the amount, as you know, I found out the amount and then I subtracted the principal. Many people, what they do, they directly apply the formula for CI. So what will be the direct formula? They substitute amount as P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n minus principal, so P, and then they take P common. So if you take P common, what is left over here? P is out, so 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n minus 1. So if you want direct CI, you can apply this formula also. I am totally against using this formula. Generally, I am of the opinion that one must find amount independently. After finding the amount, simply subtract the principal. So that becomes very easy for anyone to do so. But in case if you want to follow this, there is no harm in it. It's a very standard thing. That means we are using the same thing. Same formula, compound interest equals to amount minus principal. I am substituting the formula of amount over here. The formula of amount is P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n minus P. So P is common out. You can take this element inside minus 1. Many a time students feel that, sir, my teacher gave me different formula for compound interest, and sir, you are doing by different formula. Trust me, it's not a different formula at all. It is one and the same thing. Probably I may be adopting this, what is we have done in the previous chapter, and they might be adopting this. But hence there is no difference between the two, because this or probably this is derived from here only. So this is principle and this is its application. You can check it out amount. For amount we use P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n minus P. So if you take out P common out, you definitely get this one. And of course, by applying this, you will straight away get compound interest earned during the year. So far as formula method goes, what have we learned so far? So we did how to find the amount by applying the formula A equals to P stands for principal, into bracket 1 plus R stands for rate per annum, upon 100 raised to n stands for number of years. My dear friend, you must know one thing very very clearly. When I am talking about rate, I am talking about rate per annum, and that is why rate per annum raised to number of years. This is very important. You should not make any changes over here. If this is not the rate per annum, then even this will not be the number of years. So this is very very important. That should be kept in your mind. So far we have done first formula, second formula, and the third one. The third one is this, which I will list out over here. If you want to go directly for compound interest, you can simply say P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n minus 1. Alright, then after that, what else? The last part. There are two more formulas altogether in compound interest. And trust me, those are also based on what we have done so far. So there is nothing new. The only thing is you have to alter your formulas that suits your need as per the question. There are a variety of questions that can be asked, but every time we are going to have the same procedure, same method that we will be adopting for finding the answer to the question. So let us move on to the next one, that is the fourth one. And the last formula would be, at times there may be a situation where, for example, we may have to face a problem like this. Supposing principal is 60,000, rate 20%, time 2.5 years. So when we adopt doing this without using formula, we will find out compound interest for 1 year. How? Sir, we can do 60,000 multiply by 20% multiply by 1 year. So we will get for second year, sir, we will again do into 20% into 1 year. For third, that means we have to take only for 6 months. So we will do whatever is the principal multiply by 20% into half. We can do so. But the same thing, if you try and do by formula method, things would be a little different. Have a look. Supposing, let us say, I want to adopt this by formula method. A would be P, 1 plus R upon 100 raised to N. Now if I apply this, that means my amount would be P, 60,000. 1 plus, what is R? 20 upon 100 raised to, can I write raised to 2.5? The answer is anything raised to N. My N should belongs to N. This N should not be a fraction. In case if it is a fraction, it will become difficult for me. It will probably not possible for me to find this value. So what should we do? In such a scenario, when we get this as 2.5, what we can do in the same case would be A equals to P, 60,000. 1 plus, what is the value of rate? 20 upon 100 raised to 2.5. So tell me what is the integer? So integer is 2. So please take that integer 2. How much we are left with? So we are still left with half. Please write down the same thing. 1 plus, write down this 20. Alright, now instead of 100, divide it and write 200. Instead of 100, write 200. And instead of half, multiply by 2. So you write 1. It means, you know what exactly is happening? We are taking interest for half a month only. Sir, how? For a very simple reason. It is 20% per annum. 20% per annum would mean 10% after every 6 months. So this would mean 10% only. You can check it out. 1 plus, so this is nothing but if you take 0 and 0 here, 10% only. So in a systematic way, if you are adopting a formula for 2.5 years, then basically what should be done? What should be done is A equals to P, 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 2 and 1 plus R upon 200 raised to 1. This is nothing but interest for 6 months. Supposing if you want to find amount at the end of 3.5 years, so our answer would be P, 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 3, integer 3, 1 plus R upon 200 raised to 1. This is 3 years and this is 6 months. Why 6 months? Sir, if you take per 100, it is for 1 year. You have taken 200, so half of 1 year, 6 months. Every 6 months the answer would be this. In short, my fourth formula would be, in case if you want to find out amount for 2.5 year or amount for 3.5 year, the formula that you should be adopting is P, 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 2, 1 plus R upon 200 raised to 1. If it is 3.5, P, 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 3, 1 plus R upon 200 raised to 1. Remember, the moment you take 200 instead of 100, automatically it becomes 6 months. So 6 monthly formula, in case if you want to devise, it will be based on 1 plus r upon 200. So my dear friends, I give you a minute to copy down these formulas. One must copy down these formulas in order to be prepared to solve any questions related to chapter 3 exercise A. If you are aware about these formulas and if you know rightfully if you can apply them, you are almost done with next two exercises of this chapter. This exercise offers nothing different than the questions that we have done in the previous chapter. The only thing is what is different would be the way in which you will be solving the questions. Earlier you solved it by adopting traditional method, whereas now you will be doing the questions by applying the formulas. Of course, yes, I have not forgotten about depreciation also. We do remember that there were questions about depreciation or a degrowth that involved reduction in the value of asset. Last time we discussed, in case if you are buying a mobile phone for 50,000 rupees, what was the depreciation applicable? 10%. After 2 years, the value of your mobile phone went down from 50,000 to 40,500 rupees. I hope we remember that example. The same thing can be done by adopting the formula method also. So in case if we are having any issue with depreciation, then with the help of the following formula, you can even solve questions based on depreciation. How it goes? So in case of degrowth, degrowth means negative growth, or depreciation, what will happen? Sir, A will be equal to P 1 minus R upon 100. So instead of adopting 1 plus, we'll put 1 minus R upon 100 raised to N. So assuming that you are buying your phone for rupees 40,000. So this is the original cost of the phone, which I am calling it as a P. What about rate of growth? Sir, rate of growth was negative because it was reducing by 10%. So you can show it's negative 10%. What about the time horizon? Time horizon is 2 years. What are you interested? So I am interested in finding the value of phone at the end of how many years? 2 years. Value of phone after 2 years would be how much? That we call it as A. I want to know in future what will be the value. Knowing all the ingredients for this formula, you can apply P as 40,000. 1 minus R. R stands for rate, which is 10%. The whole thing raised to 2. So what are we going to do? 40,000. Over here 0 cancel 0. 10 minus 1. That's going to be 9 upon 10 raised to 2. So 40,000 multiply by 9 multiply by 9 upon 10 upon 10. 0 0 0 0. So we are left with 400 multiply by 9 nines are 81. Can anyone tell me what would be the value? 4 32 0 0. So the value of your phone would be 32,400. Remember, we have taken the original cost of the phone as 40,000. If you would have taken the original cost of the phone as 50,000, you will get the same answer as what we got yesterday, 40,500. In case if you wish to do so, you can modify the question. Let us say the cost of my phone was 50,000. So I simply have to substitute this as 50,000. So this becomes 50,000. So this is 50,000. So this will become 500. So 1 into 5. So basically my answer would be 5, 40 and 20, which is same as what we did yesterday by adopting the traditional method. Now, after having discussion with respect to all the things that is needed to solve the exercise, Let us move on to doing exercise 3A from a concise Selena math textbook. So let us begin with 3A. The first question says, find the amount and the compound interest on rupees 12,000 in 3 years at 5% per annum, interest being compounded annually. So, what is the principal amount? So, principal is rupees 12,000. What about the time duration? 3 years. What about the rate? 5%. We have to find what? Amount. Do we have any direct formula for amount? Yes, sir. Amount equals to P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to N. So what is the value of P? 12,000. 1 plus R 5 upon 100 raised to N, that is time, which is nothing but 3 years. What to do? 12,000 multiply by. If you wish, you can cancel, but usually I don't cancel. And in case if you wish, let us say this time we will cancel and do. 5 ones are 5 20s are 20 plus 1, 21 upon 20, the whole thing raised to 3. So 12,000 multiply by 21 multiply by 21 multiply by 21 upon 20, 20, 20. How do we go about? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 2s are 4, 3s are. So basically we get 3 into 21 into 21 into 21, the whole upon 2. We are pretty sure we can find out the answer, and the answer to this question when you actually solve would be 13,891.50. Try it out, my dear friends. You will get the same answer in such a simple way of doing it. So this is how, in case we are adopting the formula, it can save our time. Lots of time can be saved. Move on to question number 2. Question number 2 says, calculate the amount if rupees 15,000 is let out at compound interest for 2 years, whereas the rates of interest for the 2 successive period is 8% and 10%. So basically, my principal is rupees 15,000. What about the rates? So rates first year 8%, rate for second year 10%. What do you have to find? Amount. Again, simple formula. What has been given to you? P1 plus R1 upon 100. 1 plus R2 upon 100. That's it. Automatically you will get the answer. 15,000. 1 plus 8 upon 100. 1 plus 10 upon 100. Can we cancel anything? Yes, sir. 100 plus 8, 108 upon 100. 100 plus 10, but we can cancel 0, 0. So 10 plus 1, 11 upon 10. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So can you multiply 15 into this? Of course, sir. 108, 54 will give you 12 to 16, 162. So 162, this is 162, 15 into this. Multiply by 11. 162 into 11, 16, 2, 18, 8, 1, 2, 8, 7, 1. It's going to be 17820. So my dear friends, your answer would be 17820. It was a very simple. In fact, we have done same type of questions taking 3 years also. When we did the questions on 3 years, we were having the rates for the 3 successive years. In case we have rate for 3 successive years, again we would follow the same way and extend our formula to the 3rd year also. One must note that the formulas that I have cited before starting the topic, That means just before solving the sums, I have cited 4 formulas. In case if you update yourself and note down those 4 formulas, and then if you sit to do the sums, things will become extremely easy for you. So go with my experience, my dear students. Listen to what I say, because I am telling you with lots of responsibility. I am telling you with lots of experience as how you can save your time and how you can achieve accuracy. It will not only give you the correct answer, but it will also help you build your confidence and correlate as to what formulas you should be using in different sums. So I'll urge you to sit with formulas right in front of you and start doing the sums along with me. In case if you are lagging behind, you can watch the video repeatedly to understand what exactly are the mistakes those are done by you, to correct them, to rectify them. Let's move on to question number 3. So here we go. Calculate the compound interest accrued on rupees 6,000. So my principal would be 6,000 rupees in 3 years, compounded yearly, if the rates of successive years were 5%, 8% and 10%. So same type of question got extended by 1 more year. Principal is rupees 6,000. Rate for first year 5%. Rate for second year 8%. Rate for third year is 10%. What we have to find? Amount. So tell me, my dear friends, what formula should I adopt? Same formula, P 1 plus R1 upon 100. 1 plus R2 upon 100. 1 plus R3 upon 100. So 6,000 multiply by 1 plus R1 is 5, 5 upon 100. 1 plus R2, rate for second year, 8 upon 100. 1 plus R3, 10 upon 100. What do we do now? 6,000 multiply by. Sir, I want to divide here because this is getting completely vanished. So 20 plus 1, 21 upon 20. So it's okay if I don't divide because this 8 will not get eliminated completely. So it becomes 108 upon 100. This is simply your choice. You can do the calculation however comfortable you feel. I am always of the opinion of preserving this 100 because that is an easy calculation. Alright. So 10, 11 upon 10. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So we are left with 6 multiply by 21 multiply by 108 multiply by 11 upon 20. What am I going to do is, I am going to reduce this to 10 and make this 3. So what you can do is 63 multiply by 108 multiply by 11 upon 10. That will give you 108 multiply by 63 multiply by 11 will give you 63. So 693 upon 10. And then finally, my dear friends, you'll have to do the calculation. The calculation should be done in such a way so that you don't make any error while doing the calculation. 74, 844, when you multiply this into this upon 10, that will give you finally rupees 7484.40. With this, my dear friends, your first 3 sums comes to an end. But what is asked in the third sum? I have found out amount, but when you read the question, they are mentioning calculate the compound interest. So I am interested in finding out the compound interest. How do we find that? So compound interest would be amount minus principal. What is the amount? 7484.40 minus what is the principal? 6,000. So what is the final answer? So final answer would be 1484.40. Absolutely right, my dear friends. So with this, question number 1, question number 2, question number 3 comes to an end. Listen to one disclaimer that I would like to share with you. The method that I am adopting and the explanations that I am giving to you all before the start of the chapter is applicable for the entire chapter. That means does not matter you solve the questions from any textbook. Whichever textbook you are adopting, the nature of the question will almost remain the same, and the method that you have learned, the formulas that you are using will also remain the same. It is just a mere narrow perception that few students may keep in their minds, saying that we are adopting a different textbook. Trust me, believe me, it's nothing like that. And even for the boards, you can get the questions from anywhere. I can assure you, I can tell you this with lots of confidence, that once you do the questions from the textbook that I am recommending to you, or adopting the formulas that I am discussing with you for each chapter, and then you try out from any textbook, any notes, I can assure you, you will be able to solve all the questions without having any resistance to offer. So my dear friends, don't build any wrong notion into your mind, not ever, that these questions, if I know, then I will know only these questions. Perhaps I will not be able to do from any other textbook. In fact, knowing these questions, knowing this method, knowing this formula, and knowing all the discussions that we have had about a particular chapter, it becomes all the more clear for you to solve the questions from any textbook, any notes, any means any and any school. I am telling you with lots of confidence that you will never get stuck and you will always find your way if you are listening to my video properly with lots of concentration and adopting the techniques and the tricks that has been given to you and shared with you. Alright, let's move to question number 4. Question number 4. What sum of money, so they are asking us about the principal amount. What sum of money will amount to rupees 5445 in 2 years at 10% per annum compound interest? So what sum of money? We don't know what sum of money will amount to 5445. What is the rate of interest? 10%. What is the time duration? It's given 2 years. Let us read the question one more time. Question says, what sum of money will amount to 5445 in 2 years at the rate of 10% per annum? Now, if you are using traditional method, we always presume a principal to be 1000. There is no such need to do so over here, because all the relevant information as per my formula is available with me. And that means amount equals to principal 1 plus r upon 100 raised to n. What about amount? So 5445. Principal not known. 1 plus r 10 upon 100 raised to time period 2. Can I cancel 0, 0? Of course, sir. 5445 equals to P 10 plus 1, 11 upon 10 raised to 2. 5445 equals to P into 11 upon 10 into 10. Oh, this is a very easy and sophisticated calculation. This 10 and this 10 will move there. So we have P equals to 5445 multiply by 10 into 10, 100 upon 11 into 11. Don't multiply them unnecessarily. 11 ones are 11 fours are 44. 10 nines are 5. Again with 11. 4s are and 5s are 45 into 100. So your principal amount is rupees 4500. That is why this chapter is far more interesting as compared to the previous chapter, because we are using the formula. Formula enhances our speed. It works with accuracy, and that's the reason why we are able to do this at a greater pace. Excuse me. Question number 5. Here we go. On what sum of money, so again we have to find out the principal, will the compound interest for 2 years at 5% per annum amounts to 768.75. My dear friends, read the question with lots of caution. They say that on what sum of money? On what sum of money means principal is not known to me. On what sum of money will the compound interest for 2 years? Compound interest for 2 years means compound interest. Time period 2 years. On what sum of money will the compound interest for 2 years at 5% per annum? So rate is 5% per annum. Amounts to rupees 768.75. 768.75. My dear friends, one must understand very clearly and distinctively that they have given to us compound interest and not amount. They said that compound interest amounts to 500. That means compound interest is 500. Don't jump to the conclusion that they had given the amount. Please read between the lines. Read the question carefully. Read with lot of caution. They have mentioned that the compound interest on a certain sum at 5% for 2 years amounts to. So when you understand and when you read and when you connect all the dots, it makes only one sense, that the compound interest on certain sum of money at 5% for 2 years amounted to so and so. So they gave me compound interest N, R, whereas P is not available. I have always shared with you the formula for compound interest. Direct formula for compound interest would be, I hope you remember, P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to N minus 1. Now when I adopt this formula, do you have compound interest? Yes sir. 768.75. Do you have P? No sir. So P will remain as it is. 1 plus R. Sir, R is 5. 5 upon 100. The whole thing raised to N. N is 2 minus 1. 768.75 equals to P. Let us solve this. 1s are and 20s are. 20 plus 1, 21 upon 20. The whole square minus 1. So what do we get? So 768.75 can be written as P inside the bracket 441 upon 400 minus 1. Excellent. 768.75. Discipline yourself, my dear friends. Just discipline yourself and do the calculation. I'm sure you're going to get it. P 441 minus 400 upon 400. How do we go about? 768.75 equals to 441 minus 400. So 41p upon 400. Now this becomes a very simple calculation for students going to standard 9. Very simple. So how do we do? Just to accommodate the sum, I am adjusting a bit. So my answer would be P will be equal to 768.75 multiplied by 400 upon 41. So P would be 768. I am multiplying these two zeros on this side, so my decimal will vanish. Yes, upon 40. 76875 divided by 41. 41 ones are 41. Carry down 5 and 3. 8. 41 8s are 8 32. 328. 0 3. This was 8s are. So carry down 7. 41 sevens are 728. 287. So we are left with 0, 2, 20. And then 5 comes down. So 187. 41 fives are 205. So 1875? Yes, sir. So P equals to 1875 multiplied by 4. That gives me rupees 7500. So my dear friends, this is a very systematic and a simple way, very important question. You must practice this question. They didn't give us principal, compound interest available, time available, rate available. I am adopting a formula of CI which is already given to you. 4 formulas have been shared with you. So if you refer that formula, you just have to substitute the values and process your calculation. If you are right with your calculation, this is a straightforward question. Let us move on to the next question, question number 6. Question number 6 is read as, find the sum, that means again we have to find the principal, on which compound interest for 3 years at 10% amounts to 1655. My friends, again a note of caution. They say that compound interest amounts to 1655. So basically find sum, that is principal, at the rate of 10% for time period 3 years, where compound interest amounts to 1655. Don't you think it is a question related to the same thing what we just did the previous question? Yes, sir. So my formula would be CI equals to P 1 plus R upon 100, the whole thing raised to 3 minus 1. I am substituting the values. 1655 equals to P 1 plus 10 upon 100 raised to 3 minus 1. 0 cancel. 0, 1655 equals to P 1 plus, that means 11 upon 10, whole thing raised to 3 minus 1. 1655 equals to P 11 into 11 into 11, 1331 upon 1000. You also should remember that 11 cube is 1331. It will be helpful to you later also. 1655 equals to P 1331 minus 1000, the whole upon 1000. What do we do now from here on? Of course, sir, solve it. That means the value of P now would be 1655 multiplied by 1000 divided by 331. 331 FISA, most likely 331 FISA will give you 1655 only. 1551 exactly. 1za and FISA. So guys, very simple. We got our answer. With this, we'll move on to the next question, which is again a very simple one. Alright.